What's going on? It's the RapNerd, and the finale of Welcome to Derry has finally ended. And I just wanted to have some spoiler talk about this episode and the whole season overall because I loved this series. This to me is the best horror show ever made. It's my favorite ever, and I plan on buying the steelbook. Even though it's sold out, I'm gonna pay the resale price for it because I absolutely loved every single episode. God, this was done so well. And one of the things for me that made it so great is, personally speaking, when movies get made spin-off TV shows, it's like this depending on how good it's gonna be. With it being such a high fantasy horror movie, both of them, this show is cut from the same exact cloth. The performances, the CGI, the scares, the costume, the makeup, the storyline, everything is in line with it chapter 1 and 2. It's like an 8-hour movie pretty much of the same quality. And that was the thing that I feared the most when they announced it, because I was like, are they going to be able to grasp the same quality? Is Bill Skarsgård even gonna be Pennywise? Are they gonna use Pennywise in the shadows? They're gonna pussyfoot around Pennywise somehow? As soon as I saw the first episode, I was like, oh yeah, we're in for some shit. And I'm just so thankful that it paid off, because since it chapter 1 and 2, I have been hoping for more Pennywise and more of this world. I love chapter 1. I think it's a masterpiece and easily a top 10 horror film for me ever. And I feel like that is the movie to represent what horror can do on a big budget, because they knocked that shit out the park. And I love chapter 2. I'm aware that I'm kind of alone there, but then again, that's film social media. They tend to overreact for everything, so a lot of them think it's trash, but I don't know what the regular people think about it. But I love chapter 2 as well so much. So after I saw that second one, I was just like, man, we need to get some type of something to explore this world and all of these interesting things, because it chapter 2 for me is what took a deep dive into how Pennywise was formed and how it came to Earth. It was super interesting, and it just made me think like, damn, what else is there to it? Because I'm pretty sure this is all in the book, but you can't explore all of it in a movie. And then Bill Skarsgård being Pennywise is top tier performance, villains, horror villains and icons ever. To me, his version of the character is just magnificent. Chef's kiss. I've loved it since I saw it in It Chapter 1. And I was like, man, we can't just have 2 movies and that be it. Andy was talking about a super cut, a 6-hour cut or something like that. Still waiting. And here we are all of these years later, and they delivered a masterpiece. Now, this last episode was insane. So while editing this, I realized that I forgot to mention a major point of the last episode that really hit me hard, and that's the intro. For Pennywise to take over a school, lock a bunch of kids in an auditorium while puppeting the principal, only to reveal him as his puppet, rip his head off and throw his body into the crowd, and then you have the credits after that? What? Pennywise was wilding this whole season in ways that we haven't even seen him do in the movies. I mean, he's always dressed up as people and had people kill each other, but he is on supernatural slasher mode the entire time, and it is just crazy to see. It really and truly showed the power of Pennywise. The fact that he is able to put this whole town under a spell and bring winter to the forefront where everybody's experiencing it. And from what I remember, this is taking place during the summertime. So for him to change the whole climate and atmosphere as he makes his way out is insane. And just beautiful, gorgeous shots. I mean, him walking on the ice and you just see kids floating as he makes his way back to his lair. Just so many good looking frames in here. The struggle of the sergeant trying to get, his son Will back, and you got the kids who also want Will back, and they have the scepter to hold Pennywise back. And then Pennywise again, or I gotta say Bill Skarsgård, just hamming it up, being the best that he can possibly be. And this by far is his best version of the character in this season. You know, Bill was able to play him twice in the movies. So here we are all these years later with him being able to find these new pockets and ways to say things, different types of movements, how to talk differently. He just has mastered Pennywise, and you see it as soon as he showed up in the middle of the season, and you definitely see it in this episode. I love how it even expounds upon Dick's power, because he is so powerful with his shining that he was able to stop Pennywise and get in his head. I love this moment of vulnerability when Pennywise was even like, what the hell is going on? Like, he's caught in a dream, and that just shows like his level that he can take it to stop this omnipresent demon god, which was another thing, Pennywise explaining to Marge that has that type of status where they're the past, the future, the present combined. It just shows how unlimited their power can be once they are able to let loose. And then towards the end, how it even ties in things from It Chapter 1 when we see Bev at the end. This makes me want to go rewatch 1 and 2 just because of all of the seeds planted and tie-ins. Especially the end sequence when Marge and Lily were discussing Pennywise's omnipresent status, with Pennywise's plan to try and kill her so Richie would no longer exist. And then that then puts in motion the idea of Pennywise going back further to kill their parents so they don't exist, stopping Pennywise's demise in the future. I think that is insane to think that Pennywise is even able to do that. It's fucking crazy. And I also love how they didn't shy away from the time of racism. That was a big part of the show that made it feel real for me, because you have Pennywise being able to take advantage of all the hatred in the air because of the time period. And I gotta say, Andy Muschietti, man, WB, let that man cook. The best episodes in this season, he directed all of them. The first 2 and the last 2 belong to Andy. He produced the whole show, had a hand in writing it, coming up with the concept. That man is passionate about this franchise. Give him whatever he wants. The subtle things that he is doing to make this franchise pop even more are amazing. I didn't speak about it, but going back to the Black Spot, what an episode. Easily I would probably say it's the best episode for a number of reasons, of being able to, again, bring the cultural relevance of how racism was and what levels racists are willing to take it to, as well as using Pennywise to literally expose and use that to his advantage while things are going on. So on one end, you have these racists who want to burn down the Black Spot. People are trying to escape, and Pennywise is in there killing people while trying to escape to make the fear grow stronger. The icing on the cake for me is the end of the episode when Will's on the phone talking to Pennywise, and we get that amazing jump scare. And that to me is by far one of the best jump scares and most creative things I've seen in a number of ways. For one, having Pennywise have blood from his mouth down and his whole suit is drenched in red. Iconic shit, man. If Andy thought of that, I'm pretty sure he did, because he has a real eye for horror type stuff. What a great costume. What a great idea. What a way to make an already scary villain even scarier. That shit was raw. And to keep it on that subject, why the jump scare was so good, it's just the small intricacies here that made it good. Because of course, it could have been plain and done regular, Will being on the phone. We could have easily gotten a cut to Pennywise being there, and then a cut back in these different cuts. But no, Andy decides to keep the same frame as a oneer. And even with that, he could have easily just racked the shot and pulled the frame backwards to reveal Pennywise in the corner, and then rack it back to him, right? What does he do? As Will turns, he swings the camera to Pennywise, so that automatically just adds a certain level of scare and tension because the camera movement is moving the way it is. And then the second thing about that sequence is you could have easily just had Pennywise standing there and do the whole rush at the camera thing with his hands like we've seen before, but no. You use Bill Skarsgård's size to his advantage and have him sitting on top of a goddamn refrigerator in that demonic blood-drenched suit with his eyes yellow and bugged out. That is terrifying. For him to be this big and he just crouched on there looking, and he jumps down all within the same frame. Chef's kiss of a scare. And this season is full of just some really great scares, jump scares, built up scares overall. And it just made me so happy that they knocked us out the park. And the last thing I'll say is, you know a show is good when it can retroactively make movies before it better. It made It Chapter 1 better to me. It made It Chapter 2 better to me. The insight on Dick has now made The Shining a better movie to me. And it's now made Dr. Sleep a better movie to me. I want to see more of what goes on with him. Like when he first goes to the Outlook Hotel, what is he experiencing? Because he was there before Jack. So it's like all of these different things at play from one season of Welcome to Derry. So bravo to the folks who did it, the cast, the crew. All of the actors showed up and showed out with the performances. A lot of emotion, a lot of heart, not just scares. There's some genuine fear in the real world, and there's warmth with all of the characters. Like the ending when they were trying to press the scepter into the tree, and you have Rich's spirit show up to help him push the scepter into it. It was a really emotional moment for me watching it. And it even goes further when Pennywise presents her the picture saying, Richie, Marge ends up having a child and naming her son after Rich and what his sacrifice did for her, because she wouldn't be here without him. So it's just so many different layers that add to what we've seen before. And he said he has 2 more seasons, in the chamber. Let him do it. Let him do it. I'm going to be there day one, just like I was. And folks who know me know I don't even watch shows like that, let alone keep up with them every week. Usually I just wait for all the episodes to drop and then I'll binge them all. This one, every single Sunday, I'm watching every episode, or Monday. I usually don't catch it the night of, but I'm watching it week to week because it's just that entertaining and wow, just a fantastic show. So let me know in the comments, what is your favorite episode and what's your favorite moment? Me, the black spot and that excellently crafted jump scare at the end were perfect. If you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, thank you. Until next time, peace.
RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy. Instead of banking on it, now rapping is just a hobby.